So I've been looking at the launch data for this group, W.A.T.A, Water Access to All. And the numbers just don't seem to add up at first glance.
What do you mean?
Well, it was founded by Cyrus Marufian in, January 2024, and they've already reached over 2,500 people.
Right.
In 5 different countries, we're talking Vietnam, Kenya, El Salvador. But here's the thing. Their core team is fewer than 10 people. It just seems impossible.
It's the absolute definition of a lean operation. I mean, usually when you talk about water access, you're picturing these massive, government infrastructure projects that take years.
Exactly. Years and millions of dollars.
Yeah, and W.A.T.A is operating more like a tech startup. They're not waiting for pipes to be laid in the ground. They're finding immediate decentralized solutions.
I thought the same thing, so I looked into their tech, and I was honestly a little surprised. I was expecting some new proprietary invention.
But it's not, is it?
Not at all. It's a Sawyer filter, the kind of thing you'd buy at an outdoor store for a camping trip.
And that's the genius of it. That's their strategic advantage. They didn't waste a single minute trying to reinvent the wheel.
Okay, so talk me through that.
Well, they use a proven hollow fiber membrane filter. The pores are 0.1 microns. To put that in perspective, trying to get bacteria like E. coli or cholera through that, it's like trying to shove a beach ball through a chain link fence.
Wow. So it just physically can't get through?
It physically blocks the sickness, and the best part, no electricity, no chemicals. It just attaches to a standard bucket and runs on gravity.
Okay, so the hardware is sorted, it's simple, it's effective, but the logistics, that's where I still get a bit skeptical. How do you get it to a remote village in Myanmar?
Right, without a whole shipping department.
Yeah.
Look,
Relying on volunteers seems, incredibly risky for a supply chain.
it definitely breaks the mold. They have this program they call W.A.T.A Warriors.
What a warrior!
Yeah. So instead of paying for freight, they essentially crowdsource the distribution to travelers. If you're a backpacker heading to, say, Guatemala, you just take a few filters in your luggage.
So you're turning the tourism network into a humanitarian supply line.
Exactly.
That's clever, but backpackers aren't exactly known for their reliability. What happens when the warrior leaves? I mean, we've all heard the stories. The Westerners leave, the gear breaks.
And it ends up in a landfill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the single biggest failure point in this entire sector.
So how do they get around that?
They try to counter it with their W.A.T.A Ambassadors program. So once the filter lands, the baton gets passed to locals, students, teachers, people in the community who are trained to maintain it.
Oh, that sounds like what they did at the Hero School in Guatemala, right? They trained the students there.
They did. By making the kids the local experts, the knowledge actually stays in the ecosystem. But they go a step further. It's about cultural integration.
What do you mean?
Well, look at what they did in Nguai Song, Myanmar. They didn't just drop off buckets. They partnered with a local surf club.
I read about that. They donated surfboards along with the filters.
Yes. It's such a smart psychological play. You engage the youth through something they love surfing, so they become the advocates for clean water. It stops being a charity project and starts being part of their club's identity.
And it creates a sense of ownership, like the trash exchange in Guatemala.
That was brilliant. Families collected recyclables to buy the filters. It solves 2 problems at once: waste management and water access.
So you have this great system of surfers and students, but that whole system relies on a stable environment. What happens when something like Typhoon Yagi hits Vietnam?
And it did. That was in 2024. That's the reality of the climate crisis, right? When the typhoon hit, W.A.T.A had to pivot instantly. They went from development work to emergency response.
How quickly?
Immediately. They rushed 100 filters to the flood zones. Their lean model actually makes them more agile in a crisis.
But even then, agility requires trust. You can't just hand someone a bucket and say, hey, drink this dirty river water. A foreigner told me it's safe now.
You're so right. The hardware is completely useless without the software, the education. They always pair the filter with W.A.T.A protocols.
Water, sanitation, and hygiene.
Right. They'll literally take a bucket of filthy water, filter it right in front of the community, and show them the clarity. You have to win that trust battle first, or the technology just sits on a shelf.
It seems like their whole strategy is about bypassing bottlenecks. I also noticed they partner with existing groups like the Hans Schneider International Children's Foundation.
It's classic leapfrogging.
Like skipping landlines and going straight to mobile phones.
Exactly. W.A.T.A is skipping the whole let's build a field office from scratch phase. They just plug into trusted networks that are already on the ground so they can start working from day one.
It really reframes the whole scale of the problem. You think you need billions of dollars, but maybe you just need a better distribution network.
That's their whole ethos.
Mm.
They say that 9 out of 10 people have access to clean water, and those 9 have the capacity to help the one who doesn't. It's just about mobilizing the resources that are already out there.
Whether it's empty space in a suitcase or a surf club in Myanmar,
Precisely.
it really makes you think about how small individual acts can create these global ripples. Thanks for listening to this deep dive into W.A.T.A.
Thank you for listening to Mission Possible, innovating for the world's most marginalized. This podcast is built on the outstanding work of our students, whose curiosity and commitment drive much of the research and storytelling you hear. Each episode is grounded in academic research and shaped through close collaboration with our partners. To learn more about the research and partnerships behind this podcast, feel free to contact us. Thank you for joining.